Welcome to Ask the Pro. I'm Chris Dufay, and this is where I'm here to give you what's needed to create the online business, the money, and importantly, the freedom that you want. The Ask the Pro show has been upgraded, and it's also got a new home, which is turningproacademy.com. Now, if you go to turningproacademy.com, all the podcast episodes, video episodes, and in-depth articles are there waiting for you right now. Plus, if you go to turningproacademy.com/start here, then you can get access to the free coaching guides. So if you want to know how to double or triple your clients in just a few weeks, or if you want to know how to start and grow your online business, be sure to go to turningproacademy.com/start here to get access to it now. Welcome to Ask the Pro. I'm Chris Dufay, and this is where we dive in and peel back what really matters to you building your dream business, earning the money, creating the freedom, and making your mark whilst having fun along the way. And as a truck drives on past from outside at my stand-up desk, that's all good. But first up, thank you so much for being here with me. This episode is a special sneak peek behind the scenes. We've just run a tour of the Fitness Business Breakthrough events, and what I have for you today is a segment where Mark Luxon goes deep into what are your values. Because let's get real right now. This is really about building a business that gives you what you want, the life that you want, the income that you want, and also being sure that you love the work that you do. And that means that you need to be attracting in and loving the people that come to you and that are your clients. And once we get a firm grasp on your values, you can then become the person that you need to be to build the life and the business that you want. Also, as a bonus, I am going to have 2 extra special segments coming up in the next episodes that are answering how you piece together your sales funnel so that you can be signing on new clients each week and there's no more stress or confusion behind it, and also how to craft your ultimate business model so that you can create a business that quickly gives you what you want. Also, the Ask the Pro show is coming to you every single Tuesday, so be sure to subscribe if you have not, because I don't want you to miss out on the episodes. Now, the best step for you to take after this episode is to take the Fitness Business Quiz. If this is really, at the end of the day, we know that we can't follow a cookie cutter answer. So this is why we set up the Fitness Business Quiz. You can quickly take the questions, and then for free, you're going to be given the actual coaching guide that you need to follow, giving you the actual steps that you need to take action on, that's going to be able to take you from where you are to the business that you really need to. And it's all for free. So take the Fitness Business Quiz by going to Chris Dufay, that's Chris DUFEY.com/free. So go take the Fitness Business Quiz. You'll also then get access into the Fitness Business Success Circle. So I'll see you in there after this episode, but get ready to really soak this in.
So where I want to go, guys, is that a lot of business mentors, I find a lot of stuff online, and this is what I know what I really don't like. So I'm really clear when I work with someone what I do like. And what I tend to find is everything on marketing is so like sleazy. It's do this, do that, and do it this way, and this is what to do, and this is how to do it. And everyone's doing the same thing. Does that give you the shits? How many things are you watching now online and you're like, yeah, it's kind of interesting, but meh. I mean, it doesn't do anything for you. Kind of interesting, but it doesn't get you to take the next step with them. Like, where I feel it goes wrong, guys, and it comes back to those 3 circles I showed you. It's people are always talking about, this is what I do, this is how I do it, train with me, work with me, yeah? Does it work? Doesn't, does it? So this is the limbic brain, guys. And I kind of use the example, we've used the example with you guys in the business course around your why, yeah? So has anyone seen the Simon Sinek circles? Yeah. I used to do corporate speaking with a guy who's an Olympic sports psychologist. Amazing, amazing guy. Like work with like the archers. Imagine like the concentration if you were to all scream. Like we did a seminar where we had an archer come up the back. Everyone's standing there. He goes, guys, I want you to turn around, look at the archer and make as much noise and scream as you can. And he just gets down a knee, pulls the trigger and hits the bullseye and then walks out. was amazing, right? And just, mic drop, boom. And he used to ask me a lot about, like, what is your why? He started pushing my buttons in like 2009. And when I first got asked that why, it was a kind of like what we were talking about earlier. It was very much a surface answer. I like to help people. And so when you just say, I like to help people, what type of people do you typically tend to attract? When you just say, I want to help people, what happens? You get into the industry, you want to start training people, yeah? So who do you train? Everybody and anyone. Yeah, you become not the specialist. Like you don't go to a GP. I can tell you, when I had my jaw fixed, I wouldn't have wanted to see an orthodontic surgeon because they're not trained enough. I had to go see a maxillofacial guy because this thing was in about 5 spots. It was broken here, here, and on the other side. Yeah. Do you reckon they're cheap? No. But what does a generalist, as a personal trainer that trains everyone, what do they charge? Peanuts. Yeah? Versus a specialist is very clear on why they do, what they do, and how they do it. Yeah? We use the example of Apple. So Simon Sinek uses the example of Apple. So you know why, like, I buy a $500 watch and a $1,000 phone and a $3,500 laptop? Like, you can buy $300 laptops now. Why do I do that? Hey? I'm totally aligned with everything they're putting out. If they bring out something else, trust me, I'm buying it. They've got the Bluetooth earphones now, they're next. So Apple, what is their why? I'm just going to give it to you in a nutshell. Guys, when I say this and I give this example, think about your why at a deeper level. Because you're just telling people, like, we were at Fitness First yesterday, we're looking on the board. You got the boards, the marketing boards. Yeah, I'm Munya. I've done Cert 3 and 4 in fitness, blah, 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 blah. There was like a level 3 there with 22 years of experience with these basic things: kettlebell level 1, TRX, Viper, and his specialty was body composition training and strength conditioning. I'm like, something doesn't work here. Do you know what I mean? Like their why is not connected with what they do. There's a disconnect. And you see this a lot in marketing. So you've got to get real clear around what is your why. And what Apple's why is, they are constantly innovating and doing things differently. They make things beautifully designed and easy to use. It just happens that they make laptops and phones. And there's a reason why you buy Apple everything versus, do you know Dell brought out phones and they didn't last? Exactly. Yeah. So the why, yeah? Now, this is the reason. Most mentors, this is why I wanted to go here, guys. Now, it's not uncommon right now for you to start switching off on this subject, because every time I remember being asked this, my why. What is your why? Now, when you avoid it, you typically then go on basically doing more and more stuff, thinking that if you do more, Munya, for example, if I have more and more clients, I'll have, what would you have if you had 60 clients? You'd have more money, and then you would be what? Happy. Were you happy at 60 sessions?
Yeah. No, I'm joking. That was more. I don't even see his bank account.
Yeah. Was that enough?
No.
Do you see what I mean? Why? Why do you always want more?
Because you don't know the sole reason why you're kind of doing it.
Exactly. So can we start with your why? Yeah? Okay, cool. Open up to a blank piece of paper. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go through your why and get clear on your purpose. When you're clear on your purpose, i.e., I want to create the next Zumba. It's going to be better than Zumba, yeah? Yeah. You don't have a Zumba body by the look of it. You got more of a, yeah. Okay. Then when you choose what and how you do things, choose it because it's in line with your why, yeah? And because it's aligned with your values. And you guys were all talking about getting the type of client you want, the actual one you want. Get clear on the one you want. Because you get clear on your why first, and then you know why they're going to work with you, yeah? So it's about clarity. Sweet. Okay, First question, guys, blank piece of paper. I don't care right now how vague it is. Like when I was asked my why and I started sitting down and thinking about it, I was like, I really want to help people change, find their purpose. Like that's my why. I know we talk about the 3 letters, but that at my core level, like do you know the weirdest thing? I look back at my whole commerce degree, the one subject I almost got a near perfect mark, at 97%, was change management. And I felt like I didn't even try in that subject, whereas some subjects were just friggin' hard. But something about change for me, it's like I'm really comfortable with quick change. And that's why I love working with Chris. Our values align, yeah? So what is your true purpose? Like, Ollie, it's more than just sitting at Good Life, session after session after session, yeah? Okay, guys, every question, we're going to give you a minute. What is your why or what is your purpose? Go. Yep. Cool. Is it real clear? Awesome. Chronograph. Okay, it's a minute. Now, next what I want you to write is what is important to you. Now, guys, are you on, say, Chris's Facebook? Are you friends with Chris? What's a common... We're all friends. We're going to get deeper today. What's the one thing you notice about Chris that's a constant? Like, what do you think is really important to him? For guys that are friends with Chris on Facebook. What's the thing you sees popping up on his feed all the time? Who said they're friends with him on Facebook? Anyone? Okay, cool. But what do you see more than content? Yeah. Okay, cool. I reckon I see more posts about his family than about that. So, number one for him, I know his family. Now, again, another reason why we are so aligned is that we've both got 3-year-old kids and we've both got kids under 1. And we know, as dads, what it's like to literally be having a Skype call. How are you today? You were doing a sales call and Harvey is just pestering you? Yeah?
I've had like podcast interviews and like my little girl, she comes in, she just sits on my lap now. I'm just like, do you guys know who Craig Valentine is? He's awesome.
Been a fitness guru for
yeah. In the US, he's great. I absolutely love him. We're doing an interview and like Ale comes trotting on in, just sits on my lap. He's like, oh, I don't like this is how we roll. Dude, keep going. Because like for me, that's a cool part. Like, do you know what I mean? I get to be able to work from home now, and family, like my office is separate from like the actual home itself, and I want to be able to have that happen. I think it's a cool part.
You seen the video of that dude who's...
Yes, we're talking about that. On the youth team, yes. It's so funny.
His kids walking in front, it's great.
Oh, did you guys see that? Did you see that?
Yeah, he's like...
Did you see this video, guys? There was this guy that was on a real serious, like, it might have been like about finance or something, and he's in his like study, and this little kid just like runs towards his dad, and then the mum's just like, she bolts into the room and like slides in, grabs him by his neck, and then closes the door, and then the kid comes back in again. And the guy's, trying to awkwardly ignore it, like, yeah, anyway, so, and he can see on the screen the kid's trying to, and the wife's like gone like this, like trying to stay out. Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, classic example of, like, and trust me guys, when you present, if you ever get to present, you have to roll with the punches. I remember my first corporate speaking gig, a guy came in, we're doing like this, and a guy walks in and goes, sorry guys, but I need the whiteboard. I'm like, my whole thing was on the whiteboard. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I need the whiteboard. I'm like, fuck. And I freaked out. Perfectionist, like. Anyway, you got to roll with it. So coming back to question number 2. Question number 2, this is that art of presenting. You get much more relaxed with it. Question number 2, write down, say, the top 5 things that are the most important to you in life. Boom, go for it. Got a minute.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a split with so much more for you. Now, I know you're listening and tuning in because you know how important your health is and how this can also catapult your business. This is why I'm very happy to say that this podcast is sponsored by My Body Blends and my favorite, the superfood elixir, the powerful greens drink. Now, this is designed specially to boost energy, aids detoxification, enhances the ability to burn fat, supports healthy carbohydrate metabolism, and best of all, is voted best tasting greens drink. Now, myself and the My Body Blends team are looking for ambassadors to join. So you and your clients get the health benefits plus adding in a strong income stream for you and your business. The ambassador program, which is by application only, means you get exclusive access to sell My Body Blends products like Superfood Elixir to your clients, plus giving you the special ambassador pricing and bonuses. So once you become an ambassador, you can join the other top health and fitness players that are adding thousands to their week's income. Now, there is only a limited number of ambassadors we are taking on board, as this is a tribe leading the way together. So to apply and to join, go to mybodyblends.com/ambassador or add the checkout code that is Turning Pro, all one word, when you're going to get your own superfood elixir to order. Plus, you're going to get free shipping and a bonus to save yourself over $250 instantly. So just use that coupon code Turning Pro in the checkout and you can save over $250 right now, all on mybodyblends.com.
Okay, that's a minute. Okay, this is where you realize, guys, this is like, if you, I want to kind of reword this. Okay, what is your uniqueness? So what makes you so different from the other person next to you? What is your thing? I want you to write it down, and I want you to also think about it in terms of like a mini SWOT on yourself. But I want you to think about, like, I love that whole Gary Vaynerchuk line. It's like double down on your strengths and outsource your weaknesses. So I want you to think about your unique skill set right now in terms of what is your strength. Go, got a minute. Yep. See, where I'm going with this is it's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's all of them.
Yeah.
But
So I think like a good question might be the word is like, what do you want to be world's best known for?
yeah,
You
okay.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like ties into the business really.
yeah, okay. Okay, it's a minute. Guys, when I'm only giving you a minute for a reason, because it's putting a timeline to something and getting you to smash it out. If you sit with these questions, trust me, you're not going to have it perfect. If you need to have it perfect, there's no perfect answer, right? But just, you can sit with that and go into way more detail. Chris, final question.
Yeah, I think a really good question with this one to follow on is, what do you want to be known world's best for? Like, let's not fight around. We want to be world's best at what we do. So what do you want to be known world's best for?
Go, got a minute. All right, that's a minute. Goes quickly, huh? Okay, so what I want to do is continue to build out your why, but what I like is just like, it all sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah? Like talking about your why, how do you feel about that exercise? Good? It really, guys, is not just a pipe dream. Like, trust me, when I sat with that exact exercise 3 years ago, I was sitting at Fitness First, I had 3 businesses, I was doing 25 sessions a week, earning about 3.5 to 4K a week in 25 hours, semi-private training model, tell you about that later. I've taught you about this. Then I started PT mentoring. Ended up having, in our last year, we had 15 going through a whole year's mentoring. Then that wasn't enough. Then I started corporate speaking. Then I got 2 gigs where I had basically 30 weeks of like a leadership program where every single week I went to a different venue, like wineries for Coles and one for GrowCon, earning 2.5 with 1 gig and 3.5 grand with the other for 2 hours talking. So that was pretty awesome. Earning lots and lots of money, getting really, really busy, really, really unhappy because I hadn't defined what happiness was. But the first thing I had to do was sit down and go, well, what am I unhappy about? Because I'm earning good money. But by the way, someone said like yesterday, did all that money kind of mean anything? Like, to be honest, you know what I did with all that money, guys? I had all the goals. I bought a house. So all the money that I kept working up towards and earning, I put straight into a house. So it was great. It bought us a house, but it's kind of all gone. You know, like I'd earned great money for about 18 months like that, and then I didn't think about it. So it didn't make me any happier. In fact, everything I was earning was gone. And then I sat down and went, well, what do I really want? You know, like you guys are all sitting there. Is this what you're wanting to work out? What you really want? Yeah? Cool. All right. I had to audit areas of my life. So, you know, when the last question you said, what's most important to you? I'm sure that whatever the list you had fits in some way under what I kind of consider like the 4 main areas of life. And we're doing this at a real simple level, but when we go into our immersion, we build this out. And then we start taking actions towards that lifestyle. So, guys, we're going to focus on the top one, but what I want you to do is turn to a new page, and I want you to draw up like this. And pretty much all I want you to focus on is this is a 1-year plan. Like mine was we've done 5-year plans, and the crazy thing about 5-year plans is the thing I thought was like 5 years away happened in less than 18 months. So goals will always change. And one thing I really enjoy about Chris is let's see how we can condense what we thought we could get done in a year into 90 days. You know, like get to your monthly income goal in 90 days, or that lifestyle or that transition. So right now, what I'd like you to do is we're going to go through a life audit on these areas. Cool? So wealth and career or finances, like whatever that is, maybe it's an income goal, maybe it's buying a house, whatever those things are. Who wants to, in terms of wealth goals, guys, throw a couple out there. What do you want to earn? Say, for example, what's your end goal in terms of wealth that you want to be earning in dollars per year? And then just divide that into per month. But guys, when I did this, I'm just going to give you my example because it's like personal training, yeah? You show and then they do it and then you kind of look at it and fix it. So my end goal, I realized doing all the things I was doing was actually I want to be an international presenter. So what part of what I was doing was in alignment with that I told you, with my story? The things I was doing was the corporate speaking. So that was an element, but one thing I realized, I don't like talking to corporates about health. You know why? They've all got frigging excuses of why, because they're so busy and they're time poor. You know, the people we train, yeah? I realized that wasn't the market I enjoy. I love talking to personal trainers. Why? Because you're all driven. And my impact is, if I have a big impact on you, you have a massive impact on them. Yeah? I just got clear on who I want to work with. You want to work with females? Stop working with males. For example, right? There's that clarity. So, end goal, international presenter. So started taking steps I didn't even realize that within 18 months, when I said the word international, because that scared me. Who's scared about going global? You guys aren't? Who's not? Wicked. Awesome. I bought into Mark Buckley's business after 12 months of making that. Didn't think that would happen. What I tell you my two interests were, I love to help people change purpose, and it was business. Did I say that? No. Business and in health. Everything I do is in business and health. So now I own this football college where we help young kids basically post-school become an elite footballer, but we give them education, pathways, and strength conditioning at the same time. FMA, working with Chris. Can you see how it all aligns? Cool. Okay, so end goal. My end goal, I don't know, I want to make 500K. That was like my first goal. Got there. Now it's bigger. But trust me, at the time, it was like when it was 150K, 500 felt massive. So right now, guys, let's do this. These are the questions I want you to ask. First one. Actually, the first one I want you to ask is this one. How much, and make it real, like don't just kind of go, this is not like your Cert 3, but they go, how much money do you want to make? Yeah? Like you've all been in the industry long enough now to know really what you need based on the lifestyle you want. And when I say this, factor in, who wants to buy a house? Okay, who wants to open a gym? Okay, what other financial goal do you have? What other big one do you have? You want investment properties? Cool. How, in the next year, one, or the next couple of years?
One in the next year and then progress quickly after that.
Okay, so like when I say, so now to make this real, what you need to make, like I'm a financial planner, like the first thing we do is we do an audit. We find out how much you've got, how much how much you spend, and then basically how much you need to make in order to get to that goal. So like what's your investment property going to be worth? What do you need to, what are you going to buy?
Already figured it out, but you can ask me.
No, how much are you going to spend on a house? Okay. What are you going to buy for 400K?
Probably just an apartment stuff.
Can we have another conversation? Do not buy an apartment. Do not buy an apartment.
Why?
Because it doesn't go up in value.
Depends on the right, though.
Maybe. And it also depends if one comes up next door and deflates it by a quarter. Yeah?
Depends on the region.
Possibly. Irrespective. Dude, you don't need to dig in, but trust me, I'm 3 investment properties down and I've seen friends lose money straight off the bat buying an apartment, like having a gap that they had to find because the bank doesn't like giving you money on tiny apartments. And you buy them off the plan and then they shrink them by 5%. You get stuffed over. But we can talk about it, yeah? But good, 400K. What do you need to put down as a deposit? Yeah, unfortunately, personal trainers, yeah? Low doc loan. Because they don't like us because we earn some extra money, yeah? That we don't put on the page, yeah? So let's just say we're in the say, 80 to 100K mark, yeah? Cool. You might have good parents who might be able to there's other ways. You can get around it and make it happen. So make this real, guys. If you need 100K, how much do you need to save per week? That's $2,000, yeah? Just under $2,000. So in order to save $2,000 a week, you need to be making how much based on the fact that you rent somewhere? And you've got all these other expenses. So just all I'm suggesting is make whatever your end goal is that you need. Like we go way more into depth in this, but make it real. Whatever you choose, put down a figure right now of what you need to make in your end goal. Go for it. Based on where you want to get to financially. This is this year, in 1 year. I don't want to look any longer than a year.
Yeah, saying 12 months' time, what do you want to be doing?
And then divide it into a month. Got it, Dan? Just write a figure down. No. What do you need to make based on all the other expenses and everything? What do you need to earn per annum, like salary?
What do you want to know? Yeah.
Cool. Boom.
Okay. Soon, let's just ballpark figure this stuff and kind of round this up. If I take us through a 200k business model, is that cool? Yeah. And then we can scale up, scale down, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Cool. Okay. So, how much money is in your bank account right now? Write that down. Approximately. Well, you can do it exactly if you know it. So these ones we should bang out pretty quickly. Okay. How many days would your money last? Now, I say this one because I did it in the course, and when I wrote this down, even though I told you I was making all that money, we bought the third investment property, and my fixed expenses per month, that's not including this place, which is about about 9.5, not including Aussie salary, about 14 and a half a month, just here. Right, this has got to make per month. So, but I'm not including that. I'm talking about personal expenses. Fixed for me is about 12 grand before I get out of bed. So I worked out, based on how much I had in my account, that at that stage I had $18,000 in my account, but I had $12,000 of expenses for that month. So I worked out approximately as like half a month, 15 days is how long I had my account. I want you to do that calculation now. What's your life cost per month, and how many days before your money runs out if you couldn't work? Because I say this, guys, because I realised, one, I'm stuck in time for money. I have to keep going back and doing personal training sessions, otherwise I don't have enough money coming in. Yeah, so there was not the residual there. But write down how many days your money will last. Yep. Well, it might be that you might have 6 months of money. I mean, that's my personal goal, is to have 6 months of money that if something goes down, like I can tell you right now, when I've done my ACL, I haven't been able to work for 3 months. You done any major injuries, Sean? Lucky man. That's why everyone loved me at Ivanhoe when I used to play, but they equally just were like, yeah, when you play. You're great when you play. I was either good or it was like, and I get through little injuries, but usually my injuries were cruciates that were like, 9 to 12 month injuries. So, guys, next question is, by the way, out of interest, who's got more than 30 days of money? 60 days? Okay, so it's in the middle somewhere? How many days? Because you guys are the most, yeah? 60?
I'd say 1.5 months.
1.5 months? Awesome. So you're on the way to saving, yeah? Yeah. Awesome. You still living at home, Dan? Yeah. 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 Yep. 14 weeks. Awesome. Month. Cool. Does that feel good? Yeah. Okay. Less than a month? Okay. Less than half a month? Less than a week? Good. Okay. Guys, right now, are you playing full out with where you want to get to? Have you got these dreams, but you're not really doing anything about it? Because playing full out wouldn't be just going and doing your PT sessions if you guys all want to have a greater impact, which you've all said, yeah? Are you playing full out, or are you playing a little bit small at the moment? i.e., are you right now in your comfort zone? If you're in your comfort zone, write yes. If you're outside your comfort zone, write no. Yeah? Are you fully booked right now? Yep. Or no? Write it down.
One.
Yeah. With as many clients as you want.
And everything too.
Yep. Okay. And this is the cracking question. Now, yep, 4-hour work week sounds good. Yeah? Like it's a good concept. Who thinks it's a good concept? Yep, cool. Me too. I would say that if you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't really exist.
I know a few guys.
Yeah.
I know some online users. Some dudes don't even know how to make a computer sometimes. It's possible. It depends what you want to do at the end of it.
I guess from the mindset of where you are, it can seem a little unrealistic, yeah? From where you're at, because you know how much you're busting your ass. One thing I would say is that the last 12 months, since I put a lot more stuff in place 2 years ago, I've now got to a point where I don't count, like, social media is not work. Yeah, so like 2-hour work blocks in my day. I've shown Dan the way I structure my day. I do 2-hour blocks of real super focused, like if Chris has got me doing a task on all of our social, it's like bang, 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 bang. I focus for 2 hours on that. I have a little break in the middle of the day because I get tired. He inspired me a bit when he talks about going for a walk in the middle of the day when you're a bit tired. So you notice when you have a lull, you need to kind of chill out or decide whether you have another coffee and go hard and push your adrenals. Hey, you can all do it, guys. Who's under 30? Cool, go for it. When you get beyond 30, you start saying, you know what, it's not worth it. Yeah, it's true, because we don't recover the same. So do you have a current work-life balance where you work in super like short focus blocks, say the 4-hour work day, or not? Okay, write that down, because this is somewhere where we want to head. Can I, just before we go into this, guys, because we're going into a little bit of money right now, who's real comfortable with money? Cool. Well, when it comes to, like, say, spending money, when it comes to talking money, when it comes to, like, you know, when you go through your sales process with a client, are you super, super comfortable? Yep. Cool. Awesome. Okay. I want to know, don't tell me what you earn, but I want to know real quickly, what are some of your gaps? Okay, so if I want to earn, this is my end game. Okay, I want to earn, say, 500K, and right now I'm earning 100K. I've got a 400K gap. Yeah? What are your gaps? Josh, what's your gap? Okay, who can just tell me what the gap is? No, money. Yeah. Per year. So end goal this year, 12 months, I want to be earning how much? And then right now I'm earning this much. What's my gap? No, I want to know the exact figure. 80K. 100,000. So you're earning 100, you want to put it together, sorry. Yep. 65. Cool. 50. Cool. So would you all agree that they're pretty big gaps based on where you're at? Yep. Cool. Would you all agree there's something you need to do in order to fill the gap? Yep. Whether it's skill sets, whether it's knowledge, that's what we want to get into. Okay. I just want to touch on this for 1 second. That I told you about my dad and I told you about my mum being spenders. But typically, this stuff is what holds you back. Your money story, I find people say, yeah, I'm cool with money. I'm cool with money. And it's like, then you get down to talking about their situation and it's through rose-coloured glasses. It's like, yeah, I earn 100 grand. I look at it and I look at exactly what they earn that month. And it's like 25% under what they say they earn per month. So but also when it comes to money, you want to look at your spending habits. So I think we did this exercise a couple of weeks ago. Like, what's your parents like with money? What's your dad say about money? Because this will be kind of fresh for you.
Yeah, so I guess I grew up with my mum. But my
Yep.
dad never committed to anything in his life, never bought a house. He's always been
I giggle, guys, because we had a really awesome conversation about him even showing up. Not today, but in our last session. So Sean was the guy with that message that I showed you. So can I share? Yeah. So Sean really wanted to come to do the FMA course. And he's like, yeah, I want to know about it. I want to come. He's like, how much does it cost? I'm like, dude, you know, I told you I don't have conversations. I'm like, if you want to find out more, come to the free seminar. Come with your credit card. If you want to do it, great. If you don't want to do it after that, cool. He's like, yep. He's like, what are the details? All right, so he registers. Then how many days later? Maybe 4 or 5? He's like, what did you think? What did you think? What was going to stop you coming? Yep. But what was it like? Did you have the opportunity to like train a couple of people for a few sessions or?
No, I sort of just looked at everything at the moment. I was saying I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I was going, am I going to be able to commit to this now?
Yep. Which part of the brain kicked in? The higher mind or the lower mind? The primal brain, that's survival, safety. Yeah. See what I mean? See how it impacts on your decisions. So whilst I'm sitting here, guys, get real with yourself right now about money. Because I can tell you something. Matteo, we've got a student in our, I'll share that story now. Matteo is in our course. Now, he's only 6 months in the personal training industry. Well, he's finished his exercise science degree, but he's currently getting coaching from Eugene Teo, but then he's just switched over to one of our head coaches, Gavin. He's doing our business certification, which is 15 grand. He's doing the Wolfpack program with Mark Otterbury. You guys heard of that program? Yeah. That's a $25,000 program. He's 6 months into his career. Now, what do you guys all charge per hour? What did you charge at the start? What did we make the change in the last month, 2 months? Okay, I thought you doubled it. Okay. You're undercharging. Yeah, what did you start charging and now what are you charging?
I used to charge about 70 was comfortable charging for an hour, and I charge 120 for an hour.
Boom. Imagine if you were charging 120 off the bat in your first 6 months. So what we did with Matteo, because he's so invested, like if you're spending 45 grand, you want return, yeah? Like if you go and spend $20,000 on a mastermind for 2 days, you want that to have you think there's significant upside. Like anytime you spend money, every time I talk to Matteo, he just does stuff. He learns, he applies. He goes and does the Wolfpack program. That's why I brought him on board with me to run my free seminars and talk to people, because he has this most relaxed way, because he's so invested in what he does. He's just chill. He's not attached to the outcome. Like, you know when you go through a sales process and you really want to get that client on board, so it can almost get pushy and be the salesman? Have you all been there? He's so chill, even though, because he's so invested, he just knows it's going to come. Anyway, my point is, we sat down and we went, there's 2 ways that I talk about people in terms of your payment plans, guys. However I ask for a client, the only way I do things is basically pay in full, now, or a payment plan. And I offer people 3 months or 12-month commitment. Do you guys all want to train people? Like, you can't get a result in under 3 months, yeah? Like a really good one. Do you all agree with that? Yes. Yeah. So why do you sell 10 packs? I mean, they get you nowhere. So Matteo, he just left a gym because the situation wasn't working out. He's about to go to another fitness first. In the meantime, he's just signed 4 clients this month through his current network. He just says to him, he's like they always say, I want to train with you, because he puts up good videos and good content, and he knows his stuff. And they're like, I want to train with you. He's like, cool. You need to be super committed, because I won't take anyone who's not committed. So now we're starting to talk about what your values are. Cool. And they go, yeah, okay, I'm committed. Yeah, I'm committed. Are you guys committed? You're committed. You're committed. I know how committed you are. Sean, are you committed now? You can come back to your story in a second. Matteo signed 4 clients for 12 months. His packages range between 10 and 14 grand in the last 3 weeks. And he doesn't have a gym. Invested. Do you get what I'm saying? Sean, I'm going to come back to you, brother. Yeah? So you had this freak out moment. You decided it'd probably be too much. You didn't even ask the question about how much it was going to be or what it was going to be, because you couldn't remember. And then I had a conversation. What did I say to you?
Pretty much just questioning and raising my standards that if I want to be a go-to trainer,
Yep.
the value that I'll get will double if I actually just take
Yeah. So your real stuff was like, I'm going to go back to uni. I need to do these more courses and blah, blah, blah. So I just don't know if this is right for me right now. You knew it was right for you. all of this stuff kicked in. So I hope you guys don't mind if I'm being real, but trust me, every time I felt this feeling, that feeling, I had to sit with it and go, it's just money. Like I'm freaking out. Like what does 6-7 grand, what does that mean to you now? Like, is that massive in the scheme of things? And then he's only just started doing our prereqs. He hasn't even done the course yet. And you had this week, what happened?
Yeah, so I watched all the modules last weekend.
Yeah.
And then just took all the notes, wrote it down, applied it all week, changed the whole of my structure and signed 40 clients for an hour each session. And then I just up my prices and got an extra 400.
You haven't even done the course yet, mate. That's the best bit. So my point is, guys, see what happens when you get over your stuff and you get committed. So I'm not going to go too far into it, but basically you are a child of both your mother and your father. And the way they spend money is typically the way you think about money. So whatever your stuff is right now, just, if you want, write down right now on a piece of paper, what's your money story right now? Just, and again, this is a minute kind of thing. How do I think about money? We're going to move on, yeah? Okay. Actually, a better question to ask would be, what is your resistance to money? Because, like Matteo, when you get invested, you then easily find it, you're able to ask for people to invest. And you've done that because you just got over your hurdle. And you've now got the experience of going through that, so you kind of know how to help a client, yeah? Through their money stuff. You're like, look, I know it's just, yeah. Cool. And that'll be the hardest thing between you going from 100K to 200K, is actually what your resistance to. So do you guys...
Thank you so much for being here. And if you've liked this episode, please share it out and make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out. Now, to really get the most out of you being here, go to turningproacademy.com/start here. There you can get access to the free coaching guide. So if you want to know how to double or triple your clients in just a few weeks, or if you want to start and grow your online business, be sure to head on over to turningproacademy.com/start here to get free access to it now. And as always, I'm so thankful for you being here, and I'm really looking forward to you joining next week in the new episode.